Hey, Auntie. Hey, both of my aunties. Hey, Auntie Barbara. Hey, Auntie Cherry. How are y'all doing? Ooh, y'all, I had a rough morning. I couldn't keep up with everything. It was just too much to keep up with. It really was. It was a lot to keep up with. Lord, I had every device up. Oh, boy. Hold on, y'all. Let me see. Y'all let me know if you can hear me. Thank you, Ray Ray. Thank you. Thank you. I Y'all, I had a rough morning. I was trying to listen to Open Book Live. I was in Enigma Night Live, and I was in another guy live. I mean, oh my God, y'all, I didn't even eat no breakfast, y'all. Like, I had to take a Tylenol. My head started hurting. I jumped in the shower real quick. I took my phone in there with me. I had the other devices running. I had to set my live. I had a lot going on this morning. Thank you. You can hear me. Thank you. Y'all, these cases is a lot to keep up with, and sometimes it can get very, very, very overwhelmed. Sometimes it really can. I do the best I can to try to keep up with it, but sometimes it can take a toll on you when you're a content creator. It can actually be a lot. That's why I take days off sometimes, because it's a lot. Neat Night had a good panel. I think she's still alive. I mean, ooh, that panel was going off over there, baby. Let me tell you. And um, I mean, it's good to have a dialogue like that. It really is, because you can try to figure out how everybody feel about it. You know what I'm saying? No sound. There's no sound, Auntie. Y'all can't hear me. I see Auntie say no sound. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear me now. I don't want to be talking and y'all can't hear me. Oh, okay, Auntie. Okay. I'm like, wait a minute. Can y'all hear me? So I know more people will come in, eventually. Um, I don't even know where to start, y'all. It's just so much. Thank you, Ray. It was just so much. But I want to ask y'all, do y'all remember the live that I played yesterday from Willie? I think is I'm saying his name right, y'all? Willie B or Willie D. And y'all remember the lady that does the autopsies out there in Mississippi. I know y'all remember that video I played yesterday. Well, that's the same lady that did Nolan's. Okay. And that's the same lady that be doing the foul shit that he says. Okay. That's the same lady. Okay. Now, I feel Mississippi got away. Yes, sis. Absolutely. Absolutely, y'all. Absolutely. 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 Y'all. Oh my God, sis. Thank you so much for your support. I appreciate you, sis. Thank you so much. I won't call your name out, but you know who I'm talking about. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm a little type hungry, y'all. I didn't eat. I did not because I had a lot going on this morning. I really did. I broke down. Oh, I don't even want to get emotional. I just want this family to get the justice that they need. Wow. Wow. Excuse me, y'all. Apologize. Just give me a minute. Give me a minute, y'all. Hold on. Sometimes, y'all, these cases is very emotional. I just can't imagine right now how the mother and father's feeling. I just feel like Mississippi is failing his family. Sorry, y'all. I didn't mean that, y'all. I just feel so emotional right now. I can't imagine what the father and the mother is feeling right now. Um, I feel you, sis. Well, hold on. Hey, Brittany. I feel like Mississippi got away. Yes, yes. I feel you, sis. I had to clock out. Yes, I did. I had to just get my thoughts together. I really did. And I don't like how people's dogging out Ben Crump. I don't like that neither. He doing the best he can. Oh my God, y'all. Just bear with me for a minute. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to get a grip of myself. See. They keep doing this to us. Yes, yes, absolutely. I feel like they need to take, yeah, yeah. I feel like I just, I don't know, like they was coming for Bill Crump. I don't know why, like what was going on. Like he's doing the best he can for the family. Like if we didn't have him, who would we have? Who we have, y'all, to stand up for us? They would, yes, sis, yes, yes, absolutely. I definitely believe that one too. Brittany, did I speak to you, baby girl? How are you doing, sis? Um, when you cover these cases, it feel like your own children, your own family members. especially if you have a heart. Some people don't have a heart. Some people don't care about other people's emotions, other people's feelings, about other people's children. They don't care. Like they don't care. And I don't like how people putting Bill Crump down. Like, this is what they want to see. This is what they like. They like that. They like that people is putting him down and stuff like that. I'm just not gonna do. I feel like the man is doing the best he can. Like, he's trying to support the family. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Y'all, that friend, I just don't trust her right now, y'all. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't. And maybe I'm wrong, but I don't trust the mother's friend with the two sons. I'm just not feeling them right now. I'm just not feeling them. And anybody ever want to come up, the link can be dropped. Um, let's see. She said Bill Crump is an attorney. And you know what? Now, this is what I will say. Bill Crump did the best he could, right? He's not a doctor, he's an attorney. He did the best he could. But what I will say, now he said the doctor couldn't be there for whatever reason. I don't know why the doctor couldn't be there. I'm not going to put words out that's not true, that I don't know anything about. Okay. But maybe on a Zoom. And maybe if he couldn't been on a Zoom, maybe had another doctor there that could have broke down the findings, meaning pointing out what they meant by this, you know, certain things, because I was lost. I'm not a doctor. I didn't go to school to be a doctor. So I don't know what some of that stuff meant, and I'm quite sure Open Books probably did some research on it and whatever. Maybe the findings that, she's seen, that she know of, what he meant by that. Because now the only thing that did puzzle me, when they said something about, did they say his throat, y'all, or the neck? Can one of y'all let me know, was it the throat or the neck? Um, yeah, right, Ray, right, absolutely, right. Oh, both. Okay. Why was that missing, y'all? Why was that missing? Why? That was definitely a red flag, y'all. That was definitely a red flag. And then when he said that, right, it took me right back to the video that I played y'all yesterday of the lady that things was missing with those people when she did those autopsies. If y'all can remember yesterday, I played it yesterday. Now, did the throat play a role that something happened to him and it was in the throat area, and that could have led to uh, a real deep investigation, meaning arrests would have been made, and that's why that they didn't give that part to these people. Just saying, y'all. Miss D, I sent some love. Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And I appreciate you stopping by too. Thank you so much, sis. Thank you. I just got a little emotional, y'all, because y'all, this is deep. This is so deep. And y'all remember the case that I covered last week with the boy in Texas that they found that the two salt boys threw him in the water? Y'all remember that, right? Well, they did a finding of him too this morning. Like, what is going on? What is really going on here? Not lost. Mississippi did not send any of his vital organs. Not just the neck, but lungs and stomach. I thought I heard something like that. I thought I heard something like that, sis, because I was in and out. I had up so many lives. I was watching so many different people because I want to see their take on it, on the results too. Wow. Wow, that's crazy. So do y'all think that's why they didn't send that stuff over, because it was something hidden in there and they didn't want the private investigator to see that because he could have ruled that as unalive? I just gotta watch what I say. So that's, but y'all know what I mean. Absolutely. Okay. Yeah. So that's why Ben, and he didn't have too much to work on. Now, that's why I wish somebody else could have. Now, what do y'all think y'all he meant when they say when Bill Crump said the redness of the back of the head? What do y'all think on that? What was y'all I mean, I can play the video again if y'all want me to. Y'all let me know, and then I can stop it in between. Miss Parker, where you been? I've been looking for you. I just said something about you the other day to one of my supporters. How you doing, sis? This hit so different. I'm truly heartbroken. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. His throat is including that's his organs, brain, lungs, and stomach was not available. Mm, wow, wow. That's something to think about. And you know what, y'all? Last night I was on Instagram and I was in a lot of people chats, y'all. And I felt the same way those people was feeling. They was saying that and I said this last week on my live too, if y'all can remember. I feel like Bill Crump should have waited for Mississippi to put out their report first and see what their findings was first. But maybe he playing with them. You know what I'm saying? And that's why he did that, for accountability. Where is this? Where is that? Why was this missing? Why was that missing? So I thought about that also too. Because why was so much missing? Now is Mississippi's going to come out with theirs findings now? Because I believe they've been got their results back. Most definitely, they've been got their results back. They've been got their results back. And I did hear Bill Crump said the body was really decomposed. I did hear him say that. Hey Lisa, how are you? I'm doing well. This right, let me see. Hold on, let me go over here. I'm doing well. This right here is too much. My emotions has been all over the place. Yeah, I understand. I don't know Nolan person, but I have sons and grandsons. Yeah, I understand. I understand. I definitely do understand that. Mm-mm-mm-mm. So I don't know. I mean, a lot of people got mixed feelings about it. A lot of people got mixed feelings about it. A lot of people. I just didn't understand. Like, why was his throat missing? Why? Mississippi is not going to put out a report. You think? Oh, you think so? Mississippi is not going to put out a report. They are in the judge chambers. If you know what I mean, I know exactly what you mean. Exactly what you mean. Yes. Mm-hmm. Hey, Brittany. I know exactly what you mean. You know they are on a conference call as we speak. Yes. Yes. I believe Nolan was choked and strangled. Come on now. Clock that T. Come on. Yes. Yes. I can buy that one 1,000%. Mm-hmm. And you know what, y'all? The throat probably would have told that. Yes. Come on. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Most definitely. Me too. Mixed emotions all over the place because I have grandsons. Yes, I have grandsons too. Mm. Like, wow. So do y'all and I didn't never go in the chat, y'all. The chat was going so fast. A lot of people's asking, what do this mean? What do that mean? I mean, he had like 10K people in that chat, and I don't go in heavy chats like that. It's just too much. It's too much going on. So I don't go in chats like that. I just, sat back and just listened to what I could listen to. It was just got so overwhelming for me, y'all. I just left the whole chat. Like I closed it all out, and I went on YouTube to see who was, talking about it, and what was their feelings on it. Sis, thank you. I was going to bring that up. His system was clear from drugs because it was so many people saying, well, what about this? What about that? Yeah. Uh huh. Yeah. Mm hmm. The spirit reading said all last week, but I don't like believing in stuff like that. But she said all this 11 days ago. Really? The fact that his organs is missing. Yes. Wow. Wow. This is a lot to think about. Mm. Wow. Wow. Hold on, let me get this off. This is a lot to think about now, y'all. For real, for real. Hold on, let me cause a lot of that stuff he was saying, y'all, I don't know what it mean. I ain't gonna sit here and hold y'all like I didn't know. I'm trying to get this off there. Okay, what is I'm doing here wrong? I don't want no shoot. All right, I don't want to mess up nothing. Let me stop before I be the messed it all up. I just can't imagine how this mother is feeling. Like it's crazy work. But I did speak to Open Book last night, and I did tell her, I said, Open Book, I got a feeling they're going to come out undetermined. I said that last night, y'all, because I had that feeling. I had that feeling. Um, I'm a old nurse. This is what I'm gathering. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I feel bad for the parents. She said it 100% and said it was unalive off the land and brought back. Really? Oh yeah, I forgot. Nolan mother is a nurse too. Yeah, you're right. She is. Yes, Nolan mother is a nurse. I forgot about that. She definitely is. I'm trying to get this off the big screen, y'all. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I'm trying to get this off the big screen. I don't need the big screen, but that's okay. Yes, Nolan mom is a nurse. Okay, send it to me. So are you saying that they didn't find the truth? No. They said it was undetermined. And he went on to say that what was missing from Nolan's body. Yes. I mean, I can play it again if y'all want to hear it. That's up to y'all in the chat. Y'all can let me know. Hello, Roy D and family. Praying justice for Nolan. Yes. Yes, justice for Nolan. Yes. I mean, I can play it again for the chat if y'all, want to hear it. I can play it again for y'all. Y'all let me know. So, y'all let me know if y'all want to hear it again. Yes, okay, most definitely. I will play it again. Okay. Let me just go to it. And let me just get to the part where they started off. Let's see. Because they took a long time coming on. Ooh, Lord.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Far too often, our young people are confronted with challenges, and many jurisdictions and states don't take those challenges serious. We cannot allow another individual, particularly a young black man's
Hey, Cameron. Hey,
death,
Scorpio.
go uninvestigated. We have seen this happen over the years, not only in Mississippi, but across the country. It is unfortunate that our young people only seek to enjoy life, and as a result of participating in activities no longer have life. For the NAACP, we take this and many other cases serious because every person matters. I want to thank the Mississippi State Conference, particularly Alitra Perryman, for working with the family and supporting the family on the onset. Because it's difficult to lose a loved one, it's even more difficult to navigate a process when all eyes are on you. And the pressure of balancing between grieving and navigating is upon you. And so for the ACP family, this is our role, is to step in, to support when families have an issue like this, and the local officials seem not to hold people accountable. It's unfortunate when you see news reports saying law enforcement officials are repeating what individuals are saying as opposed to investigate the individuals who gave you the information, because you don't know who was involved or not involved.
Amen.
And so narrative matters in this case. And we're saying that in Nolan Wells' situation, the narrative should not be, it was
and I don't know if y'all know, but it's a new video came out of Nolan on a boat bending down, and that's the picture that I have on my thumbnail. And that picture was sent to Mississippi detectives, right? It was sent to them because I watched the guy live yesterday. I forgot where I seen it at. It was sent to him. He sent it to the detectives. That was spotted Nolan at 2:30 p.m. in the afternoon on that boat. Now, Mississippi ain't came out and said anything about that picture, but he was spotted on that boat bending down at 2:30 in the afternoon on that day of the 4th of July. Yeah. Now, they're going to say something about it. I have no idea. I don't know.
Accident before there was an investigation. The narrative should not be the words of individuals who went on a boat to the island with him, but they came without him, but with his cell phone, and you don't investigate those individuals. We're not accusing anyone of anything other than the state of Mississippi and local officials. We're accusing them of being derelict in their duties to follow up and to ensure that regardless of what happened, that there was the proper investigation so that this family and that community could be assured that if anyone was involved, they would be held accountable. And if it was truly an accident, that the families will have the necessary answers that any family deserved in this situation. I want to bring to the podium Attorney Benjamin Crump, a friend of mine who have stepped in to take the case and in support of the family to ensure that they get the answers that they deserve and that local officials and anyone involved will be held accountable to this family, to that system, because we are all parents, siblings, to loved ones who should not be confronted with this reality. Attorney Crump.
Let's get straight to the
intricacies. Truly breaks your heart.
Not the character of our son.
Now more than ever.
So he's reading it.
You all for being here, because this news, no matter who it implicates, and I'll talk. Okay, let me do that right now. Library to pay for the autopsy. This is the first chart. Let's go with the first one. Put it right on. So, where's the?
Hey, Queen.
Second page. That's the real one.
Yes, Lisa. Absolutely, Lisa.
An autopsy
yes.
will be provided for the media at press@bencrump.com. And so, Mr. Jones, keep that. I don't need this one. I just need this one here. Pull this closer. So, pull this up here. So, Dr. Roger Mitchell, board certified forensic pathologist, performed a preliminary report on the death of Nolan Xavier Wells. He conducted and presented this report on July 19th, 2026. Preliminary report, second autopsy, death of Nolan Xavier Wells. Cause of death, undetermined, pending investigation.
I knew it. I told Open Book that last night. I felt like they was going to say that.
The report this morning. The manner of death, undetermined, pending investigation. Statement of examination. This forensic pathologist was retained to perform a second autopsy examination on the body of Nolan Xavier Wells. Name of decedent, Nolan Xavier Wells, age 18 years old, race, black, gender, male, date of death, unknown. Second autopsy date was performed on July 10th, 2026. Preliminary findings, and this is significant. Focal area of red discoloration in the soft tissue of the back of the head, the occipital region. He said the etiology is unknown.
Now, y'all, what do y'all think that means? When they said the back of the head, what do y'all think that means? That's why I said, I wish it could have been another doctor there, like when he read it out, he could say, okay, this means that. This is what we found, and this is what it means. Because it do have a lot of questions on what certain things mean. You know what I'm saying? But I understand that, the doctor couldn't be there for whatever reason. I'm not going to judge him because I don't know the reason why he couldn't be there. But I wish it was someone else there that could have highlighted us on what certain things meant. But if y'all know what it means, y'all can put it in the chat because I definitely don't know what it means.
At this time, he said the body was received after the initial autopsy.
So maybe they saying the death unknown. What do you mean that the death is unknown? He was found in the water on the 6th. So therefore, he probably was put in the water on the 4th or the 5th. So that's why they probably put an unknown because they don't know when he was put in the water. But I thought an autopsy would tell you the date of the death. That's what I thought. Y'all can let me know. I'm not sure. That's why I said, if anybody want to come up, y'all more than welcome at any time.
He said the body had marked decompensation. He said coronal incision of the scalp, brain removal, Y-shaped incision of the anterior torso, and he talked about the organs being.
Okay, got you, Virgo. She said someone could have either hit him in the head or he could have hit his head on something, like maybe a rock or something while in the water. Got you, sis. Thank you so much for that. I thought so too, Royal D. They don't know because the stomach contains where it was gone. Right.
Being removed, as is common, accompanied in the body cavity. And that when you have an autopsy, the organs are removed from the body and they are dissected and examined. And then they are put back in a bag within inside the body. So when they're buried, their remains will all be with them. But in this occasion, if there's going to be a second autopsy, then the organs are put in the body cavity. So
okay, is Mississippi is going to be willing to send it? Is they going to be willing to send this so they can finish a full autopsy? Because if Mississippi declined to send it, then it's going to remain the same for the independent autopsy.
Second pathologist could be able to examine the organs
exactly
as well.
What they was doing.
Very significant for Dr. Mitchell was that the anterior inner neck structures were absent, not received with the body. And we'll explain that in just a minute. And then it talks about the additional procedures performed during the second autopsy. And we'll go into the paragraphs on that there because he explains it better in his narrative. So where's the first page of the discussion? Not the diagram yet. You can keep the diagram over there.
Now, y'all tell me what y'all think about this. Some people feel like he was unprofessional by putting it all up on the boards, instead of having someone there professional to read it. What do y'all think? I'm not going to judge him. This is the way he did it. This is the way he did it. But I'm not going to judge him. But y'all tell me how y'all feel.
So he talks in the preliminary discussion opinion. This forensic pathologist identified several limitations during the second autopsy that create barriers to establishing a definitive cause and manner of death for Nolan Xavier Wells. And that's important. He talks about the fact that we didn't get to see the body when it was first recovered, like the medical examiner working for Mississippi would have seen it. He talked about the second autopsy performed on Nolan Wells revealed marked decompensation or changes. Marked decompensation can obscure the presence and absence of bruising on the skin surface, especially during a second autopsy examination. What he's saying, because the body was so decomposed that you couldn't tell if there was bruises or abrasions on the body when he received it on the 10th of July. For these reasons, additional dissection procedures not performed during the first autopsy examination were performed to rule out potential blunt force injuries responsible for the death. These procedures included facial dissection, posterior head and neck dissection, dissection of the ribs, the pelvic, dissection of the subcutaneous and deep soft tissue, dissection of the back, the buttocks, the arms, and legs. He did all of this to rule out things. He ruled out there were no fractures or deep tissue injuries identified. This was very important because he wanted to be very thorough and very transparent, because transparency is the key to getting to the answers of why Nolan Wells is not with us. So he did that there and was very straightforward, very open, very open. He says, however, dissection of the back of the head during the layered posterior neck dissection revealed a 12 by 8 inch focal area of red discoloration in the deep soft tissues overlaying the occipital bone. And he talked about how he found red discoloration when he cut open into the back of his head towards the occipital bone, and he saw the red discoloration, and we actually saw the pictures of it. It's significant. You can't help but notice, why is this dark red here in the back of his head? And so he was important to note that in his report. He said that etiology of this finding is unclear. There are no lacerations of the overlaying skin nor fractures of the underlying skull. These findings are inconclusive for perimortem injury due to both the extensive decomposition and the absence of associated injuries. This finding, however, is significant enough to be highlighted in this preliminary report for further investigation. It is important to reiterate that the finding could not have been observed in the first autopsy because the posterior head and neck dissection were not performed. He said another limitation, move this back here. Another limitation faced by this forensic pathologist was the absence of the anterior internal neck structures. The trachea and the laryngeal cartilage, the thyroid horn, and the hyoid bone were not received with the body.
Wow.
So he's saying that
Wow.
the throat was not received with the body.
So we already know, y'all, it's foul play in the mix. And we knew it was foul play from the beginning because we had a feeling that something was not going to go right with this autopsy. I know I had that feeling, but I was praying on it. I was praying on it, especially after people kept saying, you know, how Mississippi really was. And then after I played that video for y'all yesterday, and Willie brought her to the forefront. He brought her straight to the front. He brought her straight to the front of the class, who she really was, and showed her picture.
When he got Nolan Wells' body in Washington, D.C. to perform the second autopsy. And so let's discuss that with what he said about that. He said, it is assumed that the initial pathologist retained these structures for additional evaluation. He said the retention of the anterior neck structures during an initial autopsy is a common forensic pathology practice. He was chief medical examiner for 7 years in Washington, D.C. And he said that if they had concern about throat or any fracture or compression of the throat, they too will hold them back. He doesn't know why they held the throat back, but he said that.
Do y'all think that throat would have showed a lot, y'all? Do y'all think they held that throat back? Because they know that was the key to what happened to Nolan. What do y'all think, y'all? Because I believe so. That's my belief, but y'all can tell me what y'all feel about it.
Throat was not with the body of Nolan Wells when he received it in Washington, D.C. to perform the second autopsy. He said, nevertheless, a posterior neck dissection performed without review of the anterior neck structures is incomplete. Therefore, this pathologist cannot rule out injury to the neck as a contributor or a cause of death. He said he would need to have the medical examiner in Mississippi allow him to review the throat. That's why he said his autopsy is undetermined pending investigation. Remember, it's about transparency.
Facts. Transparency.
Because the initial autopsy rightfully removed and dissected each organ, there are additional limitations inherent in the second autopsy of Nolan Wells. The most significant of the limitations was the inability to directly observe the airway and the lungs for water and directly observe the stomach for gastric contents. He said it is very significant as to what the initial forensic scientists who got to review the body when it was recovered. We have heard from our call center people saying the body wasn't waterlogged. Well, we need to know those things. But unfortunately, because the body was decomposed and the organs have already been dissected, those are things we can only get from the initial autopsy. So therefore, again, the manner and cause of death is undetermined until further investigation. We are hopeful that the Mississippi Medical Examiner would give Dr. Mitchell an opportunity to see their photographs and their
Facts.
observations to the condition of Nolan Wells' body closer in time.
I mean, it's only right if they share. And I thought they was going to do that. I thought when they had that press conference that day that they agreed to share everything and they agreed to be transparent with each other from Mississippi to this. And they're not. They're not. And if y'all can remember, I played a video last week where I forgot what video it was. When they were saying, the person video, they said, do not trust Mississippi. They'll smile in your face and do you dirty at the end. Still watch out for them. I forgot that video I played. It was a guy that said that on that video.
Time to July 4th. That is very important. And we have to continue to demand transparency, President Johnson. In addition, the original toxicology results have not been received at the time of this report. And we continue to.
And you know what? They know he didn't drown because that they would have came out with their report first. Trust me, we know that. You is right. They would have came out with their report first because they would have wanted to make that known that that boy drowned. And they know that boy didn't drown. And that's why they did what they did to them organs. They didn't send all them organs to the private autopsy people. They know what they was doing. They know that. They know he didn't drown.
To wait for the toxicology to come back, because again, that will be part of the investigation into Nolan Wells' autopsy by Dr. Mitchell.
And we know
it is significant to note,
right, y'all?
that
they would have put that on the forefront
many
too.
things that go into toxicology that only Dr. Mitchell would be able to opine upon, and medical experts can opine upon. And he feels the proper place to do that is before a grand jury in a courtroom. And so we would hope that the district attorney would present Dr. Mitchell before the grand jury as well. We want all relevant information to be heard by the grand jury. Lastly, in cases where a death has occurred in or around a body of water, this is important.
Yes, Ms. Parker.
Lastly,
yes.
In cases where a death has occurred in or around a body of water with suspicion of drowning, it is important to confirm how that person entered the water. This is the crux of the matter. This information is especially important for those deaths of persons who can swim. As in the case with Nolan Wells, at the time of this report, this forensic pathologist does not know the condition of Nolan Wells. He did not know whether he was conscious or unconscious when he entered the water. He said that would be significant. He said he did not know whether he was forced into the water or unforced into the water.
Wow.
He said that would be significant. So he said the condition of Nolan Wells before he entered the water would be the crux of the matter. It would be of utmost importance to being able to determine a cause and manner of death. He said, definitive circumstances of death are required to determine the manner of death. For these reasons, this pathologist cannot rule out, and let me really call your attention to this. For these reasons, this pathologist cannot rule out if any intervening non-accidental factors contributed to or caused the death of Nolan Wells. Understand, he's saying based on the examination of the body, he cannot rule out foul play. That is significant. With the following questions still outstanding, number one, what were the circumstances that led to Nolan Xavier Wells entering the water? Number two, what was the body position when it was found? We know that a member of the United Cajun Navy said that he was face down and he was fully clothed. Number three, where's there water in the airway? Remember he talked about the lungs and the airways where they fill with water. Number four, is there any evidence of injuries to the anterior neck structure? We got the autopsy without his neck. We got the body without his neck at the time of the second autopsy.
Ain't that something, y'all? That tell us a lot, right? They covering this up. They know that boy was unalive by somebody. Mississippi knows that. And I believe the doctor that did this, he knows it too. But he got to prove it. But he can't prove it because things was missing. Come on now. Come on. Come on. If anybody want to come up, my mom will drop the link in the chat. But please be respectful when you do come up.
Number five, is there any evidence of any intracranial hemorrhaging? He said that is going to be very significant. Things that he could not observe at all.
See, when he keeps saying very significant, that means he needs all of this stuff that was missing to prove the things that he believed that could have happened to Nolan. But he doesn't have it. So he can't prove it. So that's why everything was undetermined to this man, because he didn't have it. But do he believe that something really dramatic happened to Nolan? Yeah, I can believe he know that. I can believe that he does know that. But he doesn't have it to prove it.
Autopsy that the initial medical examiner would have been able to observe.
Hey, open book, my love.
Number six was the composition of
this private autopsy, y'all. That doctor not crazy. He knows something is wrong. He knows in his mind that something took place with Nolan, but he cannot prove it because half of the body was not sent to him for him to really do what he had to do. But he knows something is not right. In Mississippi, y'all need to stand up and be honest, okay? Because I'm sick of y'all. Stand up and be honest, okay? Why was this man, this child, parts missing? Why did y'all keep it? Why didn't y'all send it? Okay, now it's time for y'all to come out and give us what y'all got. Come on now. Come on. Stand up and give us what y'all got. It's only fair to the family. Be transparent to this family and stand up.
What was the composition of the stomach contents? He talks about that being important because when was he found? How long had he been in the water? How long had it been since his last meal? All those things become relevant factors.
If y'all can remember yesterday, the ones was in my chat. Didn't I say that? They can determine and find out when was his last meal and what he ate. Remember when I just said something on the top of my head? I said they can say they can know if he ate steak, potatoes, broccoli. Y'all remember that yesterday? Yeah, I said that yesterday.
When you're trying to do a thorough and impartial autopsy. And number 7, what are
I was in your chat, open book. I know you wasn't reading the comments because you was all into your commentary. And I had a headache, girl. My mom was going crazy, girl. Oh, my Lord. Girl, oh, I'll tell you about that later, though. But anywho, yeah.
the toxicology report findings? He said the best classification, again, for the cause and manner of death for Nolan Xavier Wells is undetermined pending investigation. This forensic pathologist reserves the right to review and incorporate additional forensic pathology information into his opinion as it becomes available. He says the above opinions are expressed to a reasonable degree of medical certainty.
Like that
Dr. Roger A. Mitchell, July 19, 2026. And we know that, as I said, this is only another part of the puzzle. And even though it tells us significant information, we still have more questions than we have answers at this time. And we will continue to press forward and persist, Christine and Elmore, with getting the answers to these questions. Because as you, yes.
Open book, I was angry when I came on too. I really had a breakdown. I had to tell the chat, please forgive me, excuse me. But I really had a breakdown. It really hurted me. It really, really did. So I get it.
We will persist, because as Christine and Elmore and Attorney Parker and I talked this morning, we know that there are so many conflicting stories. The fact that she said him being found face down, the fact that we have other videos where people who have called said that is Nolan, who is in some kind of dispute with others. We're looking at all of these things. The fact that the GPS tracking of the boat is being questioned by many. We're trying to dot every I and cross every T, because we understand that when our children's lives are at stake, it matters. Not just what happened, but what we do in the aftermath of them being taken away from us. And just like the NAACP stood up when another tragedy in Mississippi taking the life of young Emmett Till, we will stand up for Nolan Wells. Just like the NAACP and civil rights leaders stood up when another Mississippi son was taken in Medgar Evers. We will stand up for Nolan Wells.
Absolutely.
And just like too many of our young people, Trayvon Martin, Michael Brown, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, Botham Jean, Terrence Crutcher, Stephon Clark, Sandra Bland, Atiana Jefferson, Alton Sterling, Eric Gardner, George Floyd, Tamir Rice, the young people who I was trying to focus on. Gary, we stand up until we get the truth, until we get justice for Nolan Wells. 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 We were asked if Christine and Elmore and President Johnson can come back and join us on the stage. And Trevon, we will have you coordinate questions and answers for us or President Johnson or Attorney Park and I. I will say this, as President Johnson comes to the stage, I was sharing this with him and Chairman Russell, Christine Clark. God knows we wish we had you at the Department of Justice now. Christine Clark. As I was sharing with President Johnson and Reverend Al and others, this is so important that we continue to talk about Nolan Wells and what happened to him, and that we get attention on him, because in getting attention on him, it brings attention, Cliff Jones, to other cases that are not getting their attention as of yet. But I'm so grateful to Christine and Elmore, because they said whatever we can do, not only to help our son, but to help these other young black boys who was killed the July 4th holiday. And I want to take a moment before we answer your questions to talk about two other young black men, both 18 years old, who were killed in extraordinary ways that are very similar to Nolan. President Johnson, 18-year-old Daniel Irvins went on a fishing trip, out on a fishing boat with two other young men. He was the only black. It is alleged that he ended up accidentally drowning, but his two white friends got his cell phone and threw it away.
Yes.
Got his clothes and threw it away.
Yes.
And then went and deleted all of their text messages with him and social media.
Yes.
Sounds familiar?
Very familiar. Y'all remember that?
And
I played
they've
that
only
for y'all.
been charged with tampering with evidence. And his mother is crying out that they should be charged with murder, because if they would lie about his cell phone and his clothes and deleted messages, then they will lie about what really happened to Daniel Irvins.
Come on. Very familiar with Nolan's.
And then there's the matter, President Johnson, Christine Clark, of 18-year-old Tyler Smith. Tyler Smith, on 4th of July, was at a house party with about 10 other people. He was the only black person at the house. He somehow ends up shot in the head, dead. Some of the friends get rid of the gun. The police show up. They tell the police it was an accident. It was an accidental shooting, that they were playing Russian roulette. And Tyler Smith ended up getting killed. And apparently, Christine Clark, President Johnson, the police just took their word for it. His mother and grandmother are incensed. They asked the police, did you do a gunshot residue test on his hands? And the reason they said they had to call us, like Daniel Irvins and Nolan Wells' family, because the police told them, President Johnson, that there was no need to do gunshot residue on his hands or any of the other people in the house, because I don't understand this logic, but they said if they were playing Russian roulette, then all of them will have gunshot residue on their hands. So we don't need to do gunshot residue tests.
Wow, cover up.
It makes no sense whatsoever. So they're taking the word of these 10 people that your son just killed himself. And you don't have to worry about doing any investigation or testing forensically anything. Just take our word for it. Now, can you imagine in any 3 of these scenarios, had the survivors been young black men and they were with a young white man and he ended up dead, what kind of investigation would that have been? What kind of interrogation would that have been? Would they have ever been able to see the light of day until those questions were answered? Well, just like you would do a thorough investigation for your children, we want you to do a thorough investigation for our children. We don't want anything special. We just want equal justice. Equal justice. And so with that, I'll turn it over to Trevon to lead us in the final session.
We have a few questions. We have my colleagues on either side with microphones. Please announce your name and your media outlet if you have any questions. We're going to be quick because we have other programming going on in real time. We'll go here first.
Oh, thank you. Hi, everybody. Samantha Chapman, ABC7 Chicago. You just unveiled a comprehensive outline of the independent report. Can you summarize for our viewers, because there's a lot to take in, a lot of information. So in summary, can you succinctly tell us what we can take away from this report? And also, if you can provide more details about the neck.
Yeah.
I heard a lot of people behind me gasping when that detail was mentioned.
Yeah. Let me try to be very comprehensive. As Dr. Roger Mitchell said, that the focal area of red discoloration in the soft tissue of the back of the head, the occipital region, is significant because he cannot determine why you have that red discoloration in the back of his brain. That's significant. He also talked about—
Wow. Y'all, do y'all think that he was hit with something on the back of his neck? I mean, can you strangle someone like that and the neck get like that? Or do y'all think he was hit in the back of his neck with something? What do y'all think?
About, Mr. Williams, if you can, just the fact that as it's common practice, he was missing his throat when they received the body. And he wants to know why they held it back. He's not drawing any conclusions, but he said he would want to examine it if there were neck fractures or compressions to the neck. And he thinks that's significant to know at autopsy. The reason he says he would hold it back when he was medical examiner, because he thought that there may have been some issues with neck fractures. The last thing that is significant is what we said before about him, the condition of his body when he went into the water. Was he conscious or unconscious? Was he forced or unforced into the water? He said those things are very significant. But he started off talking about this red discoloration in the back of his head is something that was of great concern to him. Thank you.
Wow. Wow.
We'll go here.
Daryl Denard with Chicago Speaks on V103. What specifically are you calling for from Mississippi authorities in terms of transparency, but more importantly, investigations?
I know President Johnson is from the state of Mississippi, and the Mississippi Conference president is here. They're calling, as we are, for a fair, impartial, comprehensive investigation. When Nolan's parents heard the sheriff say there's no foul play at the beginning of the investigation, that is cause for concern, major concern. You haven't even investigated, but you're saying no foul play.
Right.
And so we want them to dot every I and cross every T. You know, we had a meeting with the district attorney, and we expressed to them about our lived experiences. The fact, and you know, they said that's not what happens in her office, but we said we believe if the roles were reversed and there were 3 young black 18-year-olds and there was a white 18-year-old who was with them and he ended up dead, we don't believe that those young black men would not have been interrogated to the full extent of the law. We believe that it would not have been a choice whether they were going to cooperate with law enforcement if their lawyers and them were going to cooperate. No, they would have been held until they gave answers. They would have been held until they explained the cell phone in their possession. They would have been held until their cell phones have been examined. And so whatever you would do, had the roles been reversed, we want you to do the same thing for Nolan Wales.
We have time for one more question, and then we're going to have a prayer with our Religious Affairs Committee with the family. One more question here. What's this there?
I'm Tiffany Walden with the Tribe in Chicago. I know that we're talking about a transparent investigation, but for families and people who are watching, can you kind of give a breakdown or a timeline to the best of your ability of the contact that you've had with Mississippi authorities or Ocean Springs authorities or the Cajun Navy? Have you all talked to them? Do they call you after the initial autopsy? Is it just radio silence from them? Do you have to call them? Can you kind of walk us through that process?
So the last time we actually spoke with local authorities, which would be the sheriff's department, was I think a day or two after his body was found. That was only initiated by me. I sent him a text message. I was like, hey, this is Christine, Nolan's mom. I just want to see if there are any updates. Basically, he called back. There were no updates. He's like, we're still interviewing. And again, my concern, and also my husband's concern, was it was not even an hour that his body had been removed. And the sheriff came out and said, this is, accidental drowning. We don't think there's foul play. Again, that is why we're doing what we're doing and why we're moving the way we are. Because I sat there and asked them, please take this case as if this is your child, yes, your family member, your whatever. And they promised that they would, but when you make statements like that straight out the gate, that's an issue. We did meet with the DA. She did promise, transparency and all of this, all of that. However, damage has already been done because now that's the narrative that's being pushed by the general public, who again, know nothing really, only what they're hearing from other people. So in addition to that, it's all these things coming up. And at the end of the day, like I said before, any parent that would be in the situation, you would do anything to find out what happened to your child. And that is what we're here to do.
It is very important to note that this narrative, this suggestion that it was an accidental drowning, nothing to see here, is troubling, even if that's the case. There were 300 to 400 people out on Horns Island. You mean to tell me nobody saw anything? Nobody can tell us anything about what happened to one of the few black people that were out there on that island that day? It just doesn't add up. The fact that they're saying Nolan said that he would stay behind, but yet an 18-year-old kid would not want his cell phone if he was going to stay behind. The fact that, you have the young lady saying that he said he was going to get back on the boat with the boys, and then the boys saying no, he said he was going to stay behind and talk to her. If that was the case, don't you believe Nolan would have said, give me my cell phone, I'm going to stay behind. Give me my car keys, I'm going to stay behind. It's not.
Well, y'all, I heard, I don't know if it's true or not, people were saying, did Katie's father have his own boat out there and Nolan got on that boat, allegedly? Yeah, I was looking at some content creators saying that last night.
Adding up. And so we're going to keep fighting and digging until we get the answers, the transparency, the truth, the accountability, and justice for Nolan Wells. 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 Justice for Nolan Wells.
Justice for Nolan Wells.
Justice for Nolan Wells.
Justice for Nolan Wells. We're going to have our Religious Affairs Committee join us quickly so we can have a quick word of prayer with the family, and that will conclude our press conference formally.
Good morning. It's a good morning in spite of all that we have heard. It's a good morning because we're here for justice. I'm Reverend Wendell Anthony from the Detroit branch and also a member of the National Board of Directors and a part of the Religious Affairs Committee, joined by colleagues who are here. I'm going to ask all of you if you would be so kind as to just link arms. Just link arms so that we can link ourselves around this particular moment and around this family. There's an old African proverb that says, those whom we love die only in the physical sense, but their spirit continues to live on in the will and determination of those whom they leave behind. Mr. and Mrs. Wells, I did not know your son, but I could tell from just looking at his photograph, I can feel the aura, the joy that you talked about. We all can experience and feel that. Ben Crump has chronicled the list of pain moments in our community by the deceased and by those who are now martyrs. We have been dying since 1619, still seeking justice. Pray with me. O Lord, our Lord, how very excellent is thy name in all the earth. We are here for but one reason, to answer the question, what does the Lord require of us? But to do justice, to love mercy, to even walk humbly with our God. Lord God, your people are here seeking justice. We're here for transparency. We're here for truth. You who are the way, the truth, and the life. We're here because of you. Lord God, how long must we continue to pay evil a toll at the gateway towards justice? How long must we see our children lie bleeding in the streets, in the sand, in the water, in the asphalt pavements of this nation that we built? Even on July the 4th, a day that serves a lesson in mockery and dichotomy, where we talk about independence, yet we are not independent from those who seek justice. Help us, Lord. Bless us right now. Bless this family. Cover this mother whose tears fall down her cheeks. Cover this father as he remembers his son, whom he taught and whom he mentored to play in life, but more importantly, to play the game the way it should be played in living. Lord God, we thank you so much. We've gone down the roads. They lied on Martin. They lied on Medgar. They lied on Malcolm. But more importantly, oh God, they lied on you. You who know about lies. We know that the truth shall eventually set us all free. Help us to get the truth, even in Mississippi. Oh Lord, help us to get the truth for our children. You know, like we know, there are more black boys in school than are in jail. We know, oh God, that there are more of us who are striving for the benefit of life rather than the poison from living. Oh Lord, how long will justice continue to lift up her brow so that she can see who is standing before us, so she can make a decision that is not in our interest, but in the interest of those who seem to be different from us? Help us, Lord. Don't we as a people bleed like everybody else? Don't we as a people need comfort like everybody else? Don't we as a people need justice like everybody else? Don't we as a people feel the pain when our children are taken from us like everybody else? Help America, Lord, because America has a problem. We don't have a problem. America has a problem. Fix the problem. In 250 years, we still seem to suffer from the same old problem. Fix America, oh God. Fix justice, oh God. Fix us, oh God. Fix Mississippi, oh God. Fix those who are standing at the gateway to break open the doors for justice. Not just us, but justice. Help us now, Lord. This is our prayer. This is our plea as we seek that which you have the power to give, and that is justice. The just shall live by their faith. The just shall live by their faith. And oh Lord, we know that when we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. Let's win in the name of justice. Let the people who love God, who are called according to his name for every good purpose, who believe in justice, say amen, amen, amen. Now give justice a hand praise. We praise God for justice. God bless you. President Johnson, I want you to know, and those who are here, there are 12,000 people who are looking at this press conference on YouTube. That was 30 minutes ago. There were 14,000 people who are looking at it on the Roots. That was 30 minutes ago. Ben Crump, this ain't no secret. The nation is looking for justice. Love you, man. Appreciate you. Bless you, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, y'all, that was the end. Hold on, give me a second. Okay, give me 1 second here. Oh boy. They know what they was doing, y'all. They knew what they was doing. Okay, let me bring this up.
I cannot do Carly today. I can't deal with Carly either. And I don't even have ears. What?
Reporting live from Hyper's Club, Fight Plus News, I'm John Alba. Breaking news coming from the New York Post. It's a sick world we're living in. It's terrible. Nolan was my best friend. Those are the words from one of Nolan Wells' white friends, Warren Hudson, who has been publicly criticized for weeks after Wells' mysterious death and disappearance. Hudson, for the first time ever,
I want y'all to let me know if y'all can hear it.
break his silence and appears to be ready to respond to accusations that he, along with others, may have fatally attacked Wells at some point during a trip to Horn Island, Mississippi on July 4th. If you can recall, Wells would end up going on a trip to Horn Island with a group of friends, including Hudson, in which later that day his friends would return, but he would not. Now, this would go on to spark immediate questions and concerns from Wells' parents. After a 2-day search and rescue, Wells would be found washed ashore on July 6, around where he was last seen. Now, what would occur after his disappearance from several people, including his family, would be considered questionable, such as Wells allegedly leaving his phone with his friends while wanting to stay back on the island because he met a girl he liked, or his keys and phone not being immediately given to his parents, in which Wells' phone would reportedly have to be tracked down by a family friend. Now, in his new interview with the News, he would do something to his longtime friend, along with the dynamic of race.
I don't trust this boy right here, y'all. I don't trust him. You know, he said he loved the Nolan and this and that. No, I don't believe none of that. None of that I believe.
Being in connection to the case. He would continue with, there's no facts out, just a lot of rumors. That's just how the internet is today. That's really it. It's horrible. Now, at this time, it doesn't appear to be a lengthy interview, as the two quotes mentioned in this report are the only things that have been released from the story. But it clearly shows that Hudson is denying all claims made against him. Now, just a few after that would be released on Tuesday night, we would hear more from Hudson, as he would have his first on-camera interview with political commentator Officer Tatum. In the interview, Warren would describe Wells as a brother and reveal that it was nearly 30 people in their friend group that would travel to Horn Island that day.
We had roughly 20 to 30 people coming on 3 separate boats with us. And so we were all following each other out there as one big group, 20 or 30 people spread out, where we all met at the dock before, and then we departed to go to Horn Island. It wasn't just, there were so many people, we had to split up between 3 boats, and we all left and all got there at the same time. I mean, Horn Island on the 4th of July is the most popular day to be on the water on, throughout the entire Gulf Coast. Roughly probably 2 to 3, maybe even 4,000 people out there. There were boats lined up off the island. I mean, there was 1 row of boats, and then there was another row of boats, and then there was a 3rd row of boats. Yeah. I mean, there was people lined up all up and down the island. So we were parked on the north side, on the west tip. It wasn't just there, but just where we were, I mean, there was easily 1,000 people. It wasn't just us. Nolan was on Wyatt Pyron's 22 Triton on the way out.
Now, at one point in the interview, Warren would go on to express that he felt Nolan appeared fine every time they would speak on the island that day.
I had a couple conversations with Nolan that day, and I talked to him and a couple of my other buddies. In a group, I was not focused on anyone solely, like looking and pointing anyone out. I mean, I was talking to my friends that I haven't seen in a while from high school. I was talking from people I knew from college. I was talking to, everybody my age and even people older. I mean, it was just a regular thing. We're all used to this. We've been out to the islands before. My buddies don't just go out to the island on 4th of July, but they go out, every weekend. I I talked to Nolan, and you know.
See, we know this cop right here, this excellent, right? I don't call him Officer Tatum. You know, I just call him Tatum. I ain't gonna give him that. I don't care if he was one. I feel like he don't like our people. You know what I'm saying? But he said he got more stuff coming out. So I want to see what he got coming out. But I want this boy right here. Tell Tatum why you did not, why did you keep Nolan's cell phone? Because Tatum said he got proof that this boy reached out to Nolan's mom. Now, I don't know if it's phone calls or text messages, right? But we will see in the next interview, right? And we hope it ain't lies. We hope it's not. Now, I remember the mother saying she tracked the phone down to his house and she went there. Now, if y'all can remember, the mom said she spoke to him on the phone or through text messages. Y'all can put in the chat and let me know.
Nolan was drinking. Everybody was drinking. Most of everybody.
Yeah, I know you're going to say that. And everybody was drinking.
I mean, Nolan seemed completely fine every time I talked to him. We had just regular conversations. You know, Nolan was making me laugh. I had a couple conversations with Nolan and Javon. Nolan and my buddy James. I talked to Nolan a couple times, but it wasn't like I was strictly sitting there talking to Nolan the whole day. I mean, there was hundreds of people I knew.
Yeah, we know you didn't talk to Nolan all day, because we know you didn't really like him any motherfucking way. Okay, we do know that. So at least you was honest about that. You know, we know you liked your other friends the best and all of that kind of stuff. So we do know that. Okay.
Knew out there. So.
And you said it was 20 to 30 people, right? So none of those people, right? Maybe they didn't know Nolan like that, like you knew Nolan. But you saying there was so many people out there. None of those people that was out there know what happened to Nolan. None of those people, out of all those 30 people, none of those people that you was with, right? None of those people don't know what happened to Nolan. That's kind of odd.
So,
yeah. Now, Justice Hudson would appear to describe departing the island at 4:30 p.m. As mentioned in reports, the interview will be cut short in order to tease a future clip. Now, if you can recall, Warren's stepmother, Judge Ashley Cole, would speak out on behalf of Warren when Wells's body was first discovered. On Facebook, she would say, "No one in our family is trying in any way to impede with the investigation by law enforcement or to otherwise hamper the family and law enforcement's quest for answers." Warren was interviewed by the Jackson County Sheriff's Department and cooperated fully. He saw Nolan. They left around 4:30 p.m. when the boat was taking on water, and they had an issue with the bilge pump. Nolan.
Now, y'all, as I heard, y'all can remember last week when I kept saying, if another boat came to rescue them, right? Because they said they had a mechanical problem was building up in the boat, right? And they said that a boat came to rescue them. Where is the person that came to rescue them? Where is that person? I keep telling y'all, I feel that is a lie. And another content creator said the same thing I felt. She do not believe that. Where is the person? Why have they came and said, yes, we rescued Nolan. We rescued the boat. It was these many people on the boat. We got there at this time. We brought the boat back to safety. But when we got there, we did not see Nolan. Why is it no one speaking out that they rescued those people in that boat? Until they can come out to prove that, I'm not going to believe that at all. I believe this was a cover-up, that he called those people as a cover-up, okay? And then we hear someone say, well, I heard it anyway. Well, he was calm. He wasn't, this and that, like it was something going on or anything. No, he lied from the beginning, because when the lady asked him, was everybody okay? He said yes. When the lady also asked him, was everybody on the boat? He even said yes, which he knew he was lying. Everybody was not okay, because Nolan was not okay. And you said everybody was on the boat. That was a lie, because you did not tell the lady, no, We're missing one person. My friend is not on this boat. Why didn't you say those things? Why? And no, I do not believe nobody rescued that boat. And I'm going to stand on that until some proof come out that that boat was rescued by someone else and they pulled that boat back into safety. What time they pulled it back into safety? How many people they seen on that boat? Nolan was not on that boat. Until then, I'm not going to believe it.
Made a decision to stay on the island and return inland later with another group of friends. Now, we have to note the timing of Hudson's response appears to be somewhat calculated, given that Wells would be laid to rest on Monday and on Wednesday being the day attorney.
And if they canceled that toll, Karen, you know why? Because it was a lie. It was nothing never wrong with the boat. Now, I heard this also. When they asked to bring the dogs on the boat, they declined it. I don't know if y'all heard that, but I heard that from another content creator. That when they asked to bring the dog on the boat, because you know, dog can pick up scents and everything, they declined that. Okay? Now, why didn't the detective just get a warrant for the boat? Why didn't they get a warrant for that boat and take that boat? Then nobody wouldn't have to ask anything. How would you ask for to bring dogs on a boat during an investigation? You should have went straight to the judge and got a warrant for that boat and then tell them nothing until you appear at their house with that warrant for that boat. Period.
Benjamin Crump and Wells's family will now release the preliminary findings from their independent autopsy. From the looks of this, Hudson may be wanting to get ahead of another wave of accusations that will be made against him as the early findings of the independent autopsy are set to be released.
Yep, that's
As mentioned, Wells will be laid to rest on Monday, and one of the biggest questions that came up during his service, did any of his accused friends attended? Upon looking online, from photos and reported accounts, it does not appear that none of the accused would attend the 18-year-old's memorial service. Now, former Mississippi judge and attorney Carlos Moore, who has been following the case and speaking out, would document his travels attending Wells' service in person, where he would run into some of Wells's other friends, and would further shed light on feelings about Nolan being left that day. Moore would write, "Before leaving, I was happy to meet and greet two of Nolan's real friends, as depicted here. Real friends show up in moments like these and never desert someone on an island with no answers or accountability. Proud of these guys and praying for their continued strength as they navigate life without their guy, Nolan."
We do know that justice swings one way when it comes to white people and another way when it comes to others. Talk a little bit about what can be done with this judge speaking out prematurely as a sitting judge. What could be done to her?
I understand that there have already been judicial complaints filed against her with the Mississippi Commission on Judicial Performance. They should open an investigation and they will make recommendations to the Mississippi Supreme Court on how she should be disciplined.
Will we know anything about that from those complaints? How does that go?
You will not learn it until something is filed with the Supreme Court. The Commission's investigation is private. So once it becomes public record, once it's filed, the recommendations are filed with the Supreme Court, and we would know there's going to be a hearing.
Now, as mentioned by Warren's stepmother, he is saying that Nolan wanted to stay back as a way to push back on any claims that he was deserted. From the looks of the case, it appears that Warren and his family are the only ones of the accused talking and defending themselves from any unfavorable allegations. It is unclear if Wells' other friends from the trip also plan to speak out. Now, for many, the findings from Wells' autopsy will help narrow things down on what happened to him that day and answer whether it was an accidental drowning with no witnesses or someone on the island would fatally harm him. The first results of Wells' independent autopsy is set to be announced this morning at the 117th NAACP National Convention in Chicago. Let's talk about it more in the comments below. Now that we've heard from Warren Hudson, how do you feel about his solo response?
I don't feel nothing about him. I don't like it.
The other friends from that trip finally come forward to tell their side of what happened that day.
I don't like him. I don't feel nothing for him. He's a liar. He's a liar. And for him to come out speaking, and maybe he feel like he can speak, you know what I mean? I don't have to prove nothing. His mother an attorney. Hold on, y'all. Was something else. I'm just trying to find this other guy. It's just not right. Ain't no way. No, you don't ask him, can y'all search the boat? No, y'all should have searched the boat. Y'all should have went there with a warrant on that boat. That's what y'all should have did. There's no way y'all should have asked him to search that boat. Y'all should have went there on a warrant and got that boat. Took that boat back. Searched that boat. Of course, they was going to say no. Of course, they was going to say no. I say no, too, if you ain't have no warrant to come and get my boat. Okay, where is his channel? You just letting these boys take over and do what the hell they want to do right now at this point. That's what's going on. I mean, that's what I feel. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but that's how I feel. I feel like that they just letting these boys just take over, do what they want to do, you know, and nothing being done. Every time I try to find his channel, it gives me a hard time. Let me see. I don't know why I can't find his channel. A lot of people went live, y'all. A lot of people went live, you know, and they had their different opinions. Let me go to her channel since I can't find his channel. Let me see what she had to say about it. Okay, let me go to her channel and see what she had to say, because she did. Okay, let's see what she had to say. I think. Wait, hold on, y'all. Let me see.
You will.
I'm going to go back to the interview because we already watched it, but I just want to see what her intake was on it.
Second autopsy. Wells revealed performed around a body of water filled with.
I don't know.
From Mississippi.
She might just shared it. Maybe she didn't.
Anything to.
Oh yeah, I don't think she said nothing. I just
point out some key factors. Because the medical examiner could not determine and stated it was undetermined, that's for the reasons of what the medical examiner, Stacey Turner, is attempting, in my opinion, to withhold. Why did she remove the organs knowing that the family had an independent autopsy scheduled? That's red flag number one. When law enforcement tried to rule out that this was foul play, that was red flag. Because why would she remove the neck?
Exactly, y'all. Why would she remove the neck? That's that same lady I played for y'all yesterday. The same lady I showed y'all yesterday on that video that I played. That's the lady she's talking about. Why would she do that? Because they removed a lot of stuff, y'all, because they know that was the key point. to someone unalive that boy. I'm telling y'all.
There was no reason for her to remove his neck if there was not an view of foul play.
Facts. Facts.
I've been through a situation where I lost 2 individuals to drowning. So when he talks about the lungs are missing, that is an issue.
Big
I mean,
issue.
not the lungs are missing. The lungs have to be tested because it's going to show when pressure entered into the lungs that is the result of drowning. Not having to be able to determine the stomach contents is very important in an alleged drowning that they want to say. The decomposition of his body is very important. That kind of confirms what those young women came online and talked about the condition of Nolan's body. For the life of me, I see a lot of you house Negroes talking about why is Ben and Al and all them. This is why they are needed on the case. When I out the next steps of this family was going to be, it was very important because without his mother's quick intuition about her baby and without Nolan's mom and dad putting belt to ass to make sure that they get the right people in to assist with this. This is a massive cover up, you guys.
Yes, it is.
Massive.
Yes, absolutely, sis. Absolutely.
They would have been delayed. They would have been able to tamper, alter, create different narratives. They do not have that access because we have made sure to keep our eyes on Nolan. The toxicology report is very important. So when we are talking about advocacy and people are trying to downplay the credibility of having Ben Crump on the case, this is why. To have a police officer or sheriff not communicate with his mother and she had to make contact is a fucking problem. I'm going to say that again. To have a sheriff not communicate with his parents and his mother, his grieving mother, had to contact him for updates is a fucking problem. So when we're talking about awareness, stop with the bullshit about your feelings on whoever you think Ben Crump is when you don't even fucking know. But what we do know is that if his mother and his father did not receive the recommendation from their family member, Ben Crump's assistance, they will still be in the dark.
Yep. Absolutely.
I have reviewed medical examination reports. I've reviewed toxicology reports. For her, Stacey Turner, who we know is very problematic, to remove and not even state the reason why.
Facts.
Is problematic.
Yes. Big cover up.
These clear people had the fucking audacity to state that his autopsy report was going to be available, what was it, last Wednesday? If it was,
right
then
before the
why do you
funeral.
still have important pieces of his body? I don't trust Warren. I don't trust Wyatt. I don't trust Eric. I don't trust Javon.
Yes, girl.
I don't trust
Talk
none
about
of
it.
them.
Yes, I don't trust none of them.
Because there is no reason Nolan did not get home to his parents. Somebody did something to him, and they are attempting to cover it up. Warren should be arrested right now.
Yes.
When he went on that coon of a House Negroes platform and stated that they were drinking and they are under the age of 21, not only should he be arrested because they were driving that boat,
and they should have found out who bought them that alcohol. Who bought it? Who was driving that boat? And was you driving that boat under the influence? Yeah, all that should have been found out. All of it.
his stepmama and his mama need to be arrested for facilitating the use of alcohol to underage individuals. He admitted on a platform, but the police should have that same information and no arrests have been made. That's all I'm gonna say. I will have a more thorough breakdown later to go over more and actually process this, because this is not okay. What we're seeing is an attack on our Black men and boys before they even enter into adulthood. So I would just say pray for the family. Pray for the family. Pray.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, y'all. Let me go to let me see. If y'all would like to donate, the link is at the bottom. It's pinned. I will appreciate it. Hold on, let me see. All right, let's go to TMZ, y'all, and see what they got to say. Let me see if I'm running over time. Definitely facts, Miss D. Miss D, I don't trust none. No, I don't trust them. I don't trust none of them. None of them. And my link is pinned at the bottom. Let's see what TMZ had to say.
Of red discoloration in the soft.
Hold on, let me just take it back a little bit.
Something possible injury, a possible head injury. This is more complicated than it seems. Crump said that it was the focal area of red discoloration in the soft tissue in the back of the head. And so that suggests with red discoloration, that there might have been some sort of injury. Crump did not
Yes.
elaborate on that. Now, we should say, and we are not medical professionals, but WebMD talks about this, and we've actually seen this in other autopsies, where when a body is put on a slab, that can cause discoloration. That can cause the pooling of blood. Now, we don't know that happened here, but we do know that this independent autopsy followed the official autopsy, where presumably Nolan Wells' body was put on a slab. So, in terms of what caused this discoloration, this redness, Crump never elaborated. We certainly don't know. There seem to be alternate theories here. Now, Crump said the cause and manner of death, according to this.
Now, y'all believe me, it's going to be people that's professional in this field to come on platforms, and they're going to break down what everything Crump said that's in this field. You know, they're going to go on some platforms, and trust me, they done took notes already, okay? And they're going to come on some platforms, and they're going to break it down. So I'm going to be looking out, because I know it's going to happen. They're going to break down everything that Bill Crump said from a medical field perspective. If anybody's in the medical field and come on a platform, that's what they're going to do. I can guarantee that's what's going to happen.
Independent medical examiner are still undetermined. He said there were problems conducting the autopsy, that the throat area had been removed, presumably by the medical examiner in the official autopsy, for some kind of further examination. And we have no idea what the official autopsy, because it has not yet been revealed. This is the independent autopsy that we're talking about. Crump says that the medical examiner for the independent autopsy, although he couldn't determine cause and manner of death, could not rule out foul play. So there are not a lot of answers here. There are interesting facts, but the reasons behind what Crump is talking about have not been revealed yet. We don't know if those reasons are something that the independent medical examiner knows and has not yet revealed, whether there are going to be more tests that might show whether there was an injury to the head or whether this was pooling based on the body laying on a slab. We don't know. And we don't know what the official medical examiner is going to say regarding all of this. And it is possible, if it was pooling, that it's something that the official medical examiner didn't see, but the independent examiner did, because of the length of time the body was laying on the slab and when the autopsies were performed. So we don't know that. Crump is reiterating that he wants videos, he wants information, he wants to know what happened to Nolan Wells. And he says that as you piece things together, listening to witnesses and looking at video, the picture is going to become clearer. He did not say this is a case of foul play. He did invoke the name of other people who have died as a result of racial murders, including Emmett Till. And he's not necessarily linking that with Nolan Wells, but he's certainly raising it. So this was a presentation given to the Mississippi chapter of the NAACP. Nolan Wells' mother and father both spoke, talking about the nightmare they're enduring and the fact that there are people actually accusing them of being racist, which is really kind of abhorrent, because they've not really reached any public conclusion at all, one way or the other, about whether race plays a factor in this. So we will see, but right now, what we have is preliminary findings of a medical examiner, and it is unclear what caused that redness on Nolan Wells' skull.
Right.
And independent.
Okay, that's it. So I feel the same way. Like, why was the redness um on the neck? Why was the redness on the neck? Yeah, absolutely. But I do believe, it's going to be some people that's going to come out that's in the medical field, know all the medical terms, what it means, and all of that. I do believe they probably go on some platforms, some big popular platforms, and they're going to talk about it. They're going to talk about it. And those are people that I want to hear from. I don't want to hear from nobody, you know, that don't really know. I want to hear about it from people that is in the medical field and knows about it, know what the terminology means. That's what I want to know. And that's what I want to see and hear. So I'm gonna be looking out for, things like that and everything. Now I see why Crump pressed the report. And right, Karen, right, 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 absolutely. And people want to throw Bill Crump under the bus, but the family wouldn't even got this far if he wouldn't have got involved. Let's be honest. That family wouldn't have got this far. Look what they did. Then they took half of the stuff out of their body. They would have lied to that family, told the family it was a drowning. They would have told the family they found, some stuff in him. See, they can't tell the family that because the family had their private autopsy. So what they did now is took what they needed out of the body so Crump people wouldn't see what they really needed to see. And again, do I think that this man that did this autopsy, this doctor, don't know is more happening? Yes, I do believe he know that. But again, he can't prove it because things was missing. Things was missing. He can't prove it. But he did prove that neck was red. He proved that. Oh, yeah. He definitely did prove that. Mm-hmm. The publish should throw the medical examiner office up. Yes, Karen. Yes. Yes. I think Bill Crump did what he can do for this family, and I think he's going to continue to push. You know? And that Willie called that lady out. He called that medical examiner out. He called her out yesterday, and I played it. He called out. And wasn't he right? Wasn't he right? Mm-mm-mm-mm. He was on it. He was on it, guys. He was on it. Yeah. He was on it. Like I said, why did y'all ask for proof to bring the dog on a boat? Why didn't y'all get a warrant for that boat? Walk up to that house, ring that bell. I have a warrant to remove that boat. It's nothing they could have did about it. I don't believe nobody came and rescued them off that boat. I don't believe it. Show some proof, I will believe it then. I believe he did that for a cover up. You lied to the lady, told the lady everybody on the boat was okay, which you knew everybody on the boat was not okay. You told the lady everybody was on the boat when the lady asked you, was everybody on the boat? You told her yes. You knew everybody was not on that boat because you knew Nolan was not on that boat. What more do Mississippi want to prove that something is not right in this case? You didn't send all of the body parts over to DC. We know this is a cover up because we know why. Because this is who this boy mother is. We know why it's a cover up. We see right through it. Yeah, they're definitely lying. We see right through it. We know what it is. We know what it is. And it's sad because I don't care what no one family member, what their position is out here when it comes to their title of their job. If someone do something, they should be held accountable for it, no matter what. But we see how they play games. When you got family is into law enforcement, we see the games that they play. We definitely do see it. It's right here before our eyes. We see it. We see the games that they're playing. And they are playing dirty games. And then people in the comments saying, oh, Mr. Tatum, I'm so glad you gave him a voice. Fuck his voice. His voice don't mean shit because he is a liar. We don't care about his voice. See, Tatum only did that to make himself look big and popular, okay, by going to interview this boy. That's it. You did that for your people because we know you don't like our people. You don't like us. Let's say that. We know that. We see that. We're not blind. I'm not going to give you that title as officer. I'm not going to give you that title. I'm going to call you Tatum. That's what I'm going to call you. You are a very triggering person to watch. You really are. See, those people believe you because you used to be in law enforcement. That's why they believe you. And that's why they hang on your coattail like they do. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Yes, Angel, yes. Mm-hmm. They know that they're gonna believe him. I'm so glad you gave him a voice because nobody else would. Nobody else cares about his voice. Who cares about it? I don't care about it because he's a liar. Who cares about your voice? I don't care about it. And I'm being honest, y'all. Thank you, sis. She said, thank you for all you do. With many cases you cover, Ms. D. I love you too, sis. Thank you. I try. I do the best I can. Thank you so much for the donation. Appreciate you, love. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, they're gonna believe him. Oh, no one else will give him a voice. Yeah, I know they wouldn't because you was the only one that would believe him. Okay, you was the only one that would believe his lies. Now you say you got a part 2 coming out. We're waiting. We're waiting. We're waiting for part 2 because you said you got a lot of information, a lot of receipts. Well, won't you just put the receipts up again? The boy claimed that he talked to Nolan's mother. I don't care if you did talk to Nolan's mother. Let's say this. If he did talk to Nolan's mother, y'all, he's still a liar, period. Okay? Because the thing is, Tatum, I want you to ask him, why did he keep Nolan's phone so long at his house instead of going to Nolan's mother house and drop Nolan's phone off to the mother house? Ask him that. And I don't want to hear because I didn't know Nolan moms like that. I don't want to hear that shit. That's irrelevant. You didn't have to know her like that, but you was with her son and you knew her son. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. You say you had conversations with the father a couple of times. You say you didn't go to Nolan's house like that. Okay, fine and dandy if you didn't. A lot of people don't go to people's houses like that. But explain why you had his phone so long. And then where's your friend at that did both where's your friend at that had Nolan's car keys and didn't call the mother or father or go to the mother and father house and take Nolan keys? Where is he at, Tatum? You should have interviewed him and asked him, why did you wait to give the mother and father the keys of Nolan's car? Why did the father have to come there? And what happened when the father came there? What did the father say? Yeah, go get him, Tatum. Get him. Interview him, because we want to know. The public wants to know. Yeah. We want to know that, Tatum. Potato. Mr. Potato. We want to know that. And we want to also know, when the father got there, why he lied about he didn't know where the keys at, Mr. Potato. Go get him and interview him, because we want to hear from him also. And while you at it, ask him why, when he called for help, why did he lie to the people, on the lady on the phone, and told the lady everybody was on a boat and he knew Nolan wasn't on that boat? Ask him that. We want to know why he did that. And ask him, why did he tell the dispatcher that everybody was okay on that boat and he knew damn well everybody was not okay? And also, Tatum, I want you to ask him, Mr. Potato, ask him why and when and what time did the rescue team came and rescued the boat? And ask him how many people was on the boat and how long it took the rescue team people to get him back to dry land. Mr. Potato, I need you to come out and do these things. Yeah. Yes, ask the real questions like I am. Yeah, I need you to do that. Did you see the pictures of them in the service report? No, I didn't see that, sis. Yeah, ask the real questions. Yeah. Stop trying to make your people feel so good, like you're doing something. You're doing it to be messy. That's it. You're doing it to be messy. Now, Potato, what I need you to do now, because I know you sat back and watched Bill Crump live this morning, I need you to come out and say, what do you think what really happened to Nolan's neck? And I need you to address Mississippi and ask Mississippi why they did not give the other autopsy people the rest of his body. Yeah, because I know you've seen it. I know you was in the bushes watching. What do you got to say about that? We want to hear that. We want to hear that. And also, Mr. Potato, I need you to figure out and talk about why the other boy went out with those salt people and didn't make it back also, and they deleted that boy text stuff in his phone and threw away his clothes. I need you to talk about that. Yeah, he was watching from the bushes. Yeah, these are things I want to say before I get off. We need to know a lot of things, Mr. Potato. Because see, what I know you're going to do, you're going to get on your platform. Oh, yeah, Bill Crump, he's a nothing but a nobody. He's a nobody. He's chasing money. He didn't even know how to read. He didn't know the big words. Why the doctor wasn't there? I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know exactly everything he's gonna say. We ready for it, y'all. Wait, we yeah, I call him Potato. I'm not going to address him by no officer, nothing. Yeah. That's his name on my platform. Potato. Yeah. He couldn't even read the autopsy right. He didn't even know the words. He struggled to read. Where was the doctor? Why the doctor didn't come and read these resorts? You know? Yeah, we read it. We read it because we already know what's going to be said. You know, he's going to disqualify the man. Yeah, that's what he's going to do. He's going to disqualify the man. But y'all got some work to do because I got to stay on my game with this case. I got to, Ray, if you look out for some stuff, please send it to my phone. And y'all, I have to eat. I did not eat no breakfast. I lost my appetite this morning. I couldn't even eat, y'all. I had all my devices pulled up, y'all, on lives, listen to other people input, how I felt about it. Ooh, Lord, it was this morning was crazy work this morning, y'all. You know, it was really crazy work. Most people don't know medical terminology if you're not in the medical field, right? But we know that, right, sis? So that's why he gonna, try to disqualify him. See, I don't disqualify Bill Crump, okay? Because he did the best he can do, right? He's a very good reader, okay? He's a very good reader. He's a well-educated man. He did the best he can do, right? But yes, you're right. You're absolutely right about that. You're absolutely right. You know, and even if it was a short person that was up there that read it, I wouldn't disqualify them neither if they was for that family. You understand what I'm saying? They did the best they can do because that's what type of person I am. I don't put people down when you are here doing the best that you can do, and that's period. Yeah, I got to eat because my energy is really low. You know, and I took my blood pressure pill this morning, but I did not eat because it was just so much going on. It was so much. Great live, Miss D's. Bless you, baby. Bless you too, sis. Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much for timing in. And we will be keeping up with this. And I will look up some things today and see what I can find today for tomorrow. Because it is a video that I did want to show y'all today, but for some reason I couldn't find it. Shit. I don't know why. I couldn't find it. Maybe my damn nerves got to me. Regardless, is the resolution is the only thing that matters. Right. Absolutely. Yep. I'm not going to, I'm not going to talk down on him. You know, if it wasn't for him, y'all, this family wouldn't be as far as they got. I'm just going to be honest, y'all. They wouldn't have got as far as they got, And that's what we need. That's what we need. And people out here, oh yeah, the mother winning. Oh yeah. And he gonna talk about this too. Y'all. Oh Lord, y'all. This man is just Potato is gonna say, yeah, she went and filed a lawsuit. Who she gonna sue? And this and that. Y'all wait around. Y'all gonna tell me I was right. Just wait. Thank you, Brittany. Yes, justice for Nolan. Awesome live. Thank you so much, Miss Parker. Thank you, Sonia. I appreciate all y'all. All y'all. So y'all just be aware of the things he gonna say because y'all already know I'm telling you now what he gonna say. So I will definitely see you guys tomorrow. Same time, same place. Y'all stay blessed. Y'all stay prayed up. And always remember to keep God first. And I will see you guys right back here tomorrow on Royal D Investigates. Y'all have a good day and be blessed.